Okay, I'm going to talk about using walkie-talkies in the UK and what needs to be done to get up and running with them. I'm also going to be making another part of this video that explains the benefits of using CTCS and DCS, and then I'm going to talk about scanning for CTCS frequencies in the final part of the video. So to get started using walkie-talkies in the UK, we need to know the frequency allocation that our government has made available to the public. And what I mean by that is anyone can use any one of these 16 frequencies without a radio license in the UK, provided that the transmission power is up to a maximum of 500 milliwatts, which by the way makes these radios illegal because these transmit at a minimum of 1 watt. So to get started, it's really simple. All we need to do is head over to our favorite retailer, be it Amazon or eBay or any online retailer, and search for PMR 446. And as you can see, as I type that in, it's already starting to auto-populate because it's a very popular search phrase. And in so doing, we should get a whole variety of PMR 446 walkie-talkies. So we've got options of getting really rugged and heavy duty ones, like for example the Motorola ones here that are waterproof, and we can also get really cheap colorful ones like this one here for kids, for example. And as you notice, they all max out at 500 milliwatts, and this one here explicitly says it's 0.5 watts. And just to add a bit of confusion into the mix, you will find some that are 8 channels like this one, for example, while others are 16 channels like this one here, for example. It says 16 channels. And the reason for that is up until I believe 2018, our government only allowed us to use channels 1 to 8. So the expansion to add the remaining 8 channels onto the list of allowable frequencies is quite new. But nevertheless, it's of course perfectly fine to mix and match any of these as long as they are communicating on the same frequency. So now I'm going to talk about and demonstrate how to set up a programmable walkie-talkie system like this. So these are programmable radios. So just coming back here for a second. So by purchasing one of these, they're actually quite simple to use. So all the user has to do is to select the same channel on both units, and that way they'll be communicating on the same frequency. And just as a quick prelude to the second part of my video where I'll be talking about CTCS, if we look at some of the walkie-talkies here, if we just randomly check them out, we can see this one here. It says it's got an interference eliminator code, and it says it allows 121 interference it allows a choice of one of 121 interference eliminator codes to be selected, and I'll be explaining what that does in the video. But first, let's get started. So assuming we've got 2 radios that are fully programmable with no channel selection or anything like that, so what we need to do then is to make sure both radios are communicating on the frequency that we're allowed to use. So for the purpose of this video, let's just use this frequency here. So as we can see, this is 446.04375. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pretend this is the receiver. So this is a radio that one person would have, and this is the transmitter that the other person would have to communicate with them. So the first thing that we need to do is obviously to set the receiving frequency in this radio. And these radios can be set up to receive and transmit at different frequencies, and obviously in so doing, the other units in the group need to be set up likewise. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to use the same frequency transmit and receive on. So I'm going to enter it now. Make sure I'm in
Channel
frequency mode. So in fact, I'm just going to turn off this CTCS stuff for now, just to avoid confusion.
CTCS.
Just bear me a second. Go. So now CT icon is off, right? So let's go ahead and enter the frequency that we just selected. 446.043. And as you can see, it populates the last two decimal digits there. So now this radio is set up to receive any signal over the air that's been transmitted at that frequency. So now we can go ahead and set up the transmitter to transmit at the same frequency. So we can go ahead and enter that 446.043. And it's as simple as that. So now watch what happens when I transmit using this button. So this radio picks it up straight away. So it's as simple as that. And now both radios are communicating at this frequency. So to communicate with these radios using one of these non-programmable ones online, sorry, I shouldn't have said online, but one of the non-programmable ones, or ones that have the channels pre-programmed, just set them to channel 4 and they should then talk on this frequency, provided they are meant to be used in the UK, because every country has a different set of frequency allocations. So that's it really. Now I'm going to make another video which I'll link to in the description that explains the use of CTCS and DCS.